What's up, guys? It's me again, Jovan Thompson, with Thoughts of a Worshipper, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to discuss something that it is important and interesting to us as Christians. Because you know what? When I was looking through scripture and I just stumbled on this, God requires a lot from us. He really does require a lot from us. His standards are high. He gives us a lot of commands and instructions that we are supposed to follow. And when I was looking at it, I realized now why a lot of persons would say this walk with God, it can be difficult, it can be hard. Or a lot of persons who are not yet saved, they would say, wow, I really want to start this relationship with God. I really want to build this intimacy with God. But it requires a lot, so I can't right now. But I was thinking about it, and really, it's a mindset. It really is a mindset. Because when I was looking at the scriptures, one particular scripture, it tells us that when Jesus was preaching on the mount, right? That was in Matthew 5. And when we reach at the end of the scripture, Jesus says to us, be perfect as how God in heaven is perfect. And I'm saying, wow, God's standard is high. Because when I think about God, I mean, He is God. When I think about Jesus, He is God in flesh. And so imperfection is not nowhere near them. And I'm saying, wow, that's a very high standard. But you know what? One thing that God dropped in my spirit is that He would never instruct us to do something or tell us to do something that is unattainable. Every single thing that God says to us that we are required to do, all His standards, they're all achievable. How do we achieve them? Our journey and this walk with God, it's a faith walk. The scripture tells us that without faith, it is impossible to please God. It is impossible to live for Him. It continues to tell us that, listen, once you have received Him, you have to believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. Now, I always say it, and I cannot stress it enough. This walk with God is you have to continuously build relationship. It all boils down to relationship. When He speaks about diligently seeking Him, it speaks about us continuously pursuing Him. We are always longing for more of Him. We're always wanting to be where He is. Now, when I look at it, I was saying, okay, God, maybe I just need to shift my perspective when it comes on to being holy as how you ask. When it comes on to being perfect as how you ask. Because perfection really is achievable. Now, one thing that we need to understand clearly is that you coming to be a child of God, you will not receive perfection instantaneously. Perfection comes over time. It's a process, right? God has to take us to perfection over time. Now, how fast we reach to that level of perfection that God requires depends on our maturity. Our maturity boils down to how desperate we are for more of God. How is it that we want to continuously develop relationship with God, being intimate with Him? That is where perfection comes from. Now, I was looking at it and I was saying, God, wow, being perfect means that I cannot do anything at all that is anti-you, anything that is not according to your will. I have to be doing all that you require. And I'm saying, wow, how can we achieve this as children of God? But you know what? And this is why God is so amazing. He will always give the answers that you ask for. And so one thing that He pointed out to me was that being a worshiper, being someone who is intimate with Him, being someone who have relationship with Him, once we are constantly in the presence of God, on a day-to-day basis, presenting our bodies a living sacrifice, on a day-to-day basis, picking up our cross and following Jesus, on a day-to-day basis, killing our flesh and letting our spirit man rule and reign on a day-to-day basis. Once our minds are fixed on God, because we're constantly in the presence of God, there is no way how sin can actually come in the presence of God, because God dispenses sin. Grace is here. Our Jesus came so that, listen, we might have a different perspective and mindset when it comes on to being perfect before God. Because grace came so that we can see that we no longer have to rely on ourselves to achieve the perfection that God desires, but we should rely solely and dependently on Him. Now I understand why the scripture says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Once we acknowledge God, once we lean on Him and ask Him to direct us, there is no way that we cannot reach perfection and reach the standard that God requires of us. We have to reach the standard that God requires of us once we put our faith solely in Him. The scripture tells us that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do everything, even being perfect. Once I put my reliance on Christ, on God, then I can achieve it. God will, as I said before, God will never instruct us or tell us to do something that is unachievable, that is unattainable. And so, guys, I want to encourage us. For those who keep saying, wow, it is hard when it comes on to walking with God and to live according to what He requires, stop saying it is hard. Start to declare and say, wow, God, I don't know how I'm going to achieve this, but because you know everything about me, I'm going to put my complete trust and reliance on you to lead me and guide me daily so that I can achieve perfection. For those who are saying, "Whoa, I want to start this relationship with God, but whoa, it requires so much," put your trust in God. Depend on Him completely. Put all your faith in Him because He is perfect. And because He is perfect, He knows exactly how to lead us into perfection. And so I want to encourage us, just listen, as I said, put your trust in God so that He can lead you to perfection and you can be perfect the way how He requires. You can live up to the standard the way how He requires. You can do all the things He instructs us to do because you put your trust in Him. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video will help you. If you haven't yet, just like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's get the word out there so that we can help each other to build relationship with God and ultimately achieve perfection. God bless you.